The nation of Sumeru is known around Teyvat for its lush rainforests and unique fauna. However, beyond the Great Wall of Samiel, there lies an immense desert that stretches as far as the eye can see. Surprisingly, this is what the majority of Sumeru is like. Today, I'd like to talk about some interesting locations found in part of this huge desert. So hello everyone, and welcome to the 7 Wonders of the Great Red Sand. To start off, I'd like to talk about what separates the rainforest and the deserts of Sumeru. This is the Wall of Samiel, a massive structure that stretches along the border of the two climates. In modern times, many people believe that it was made to keep the desert dwellers out of the rainforest. However, this was not the case. After the passing of Nabu Malikata, Greater Lord Rukkhadevata left King Deshret's side and traveled to a corner of the desert. Here, she would build the Varuna contraption, which provided water to the area. Over time, this would allow the rainforests of Sumeru to flourish. However, Rukkhadevata knew that the sandstorms of the desert could pose a threat to the rainforest that she built. Wanting to protect the lush rainforest, she created the Wall of Samiel. The giant wall successfully kept the sandstorms out of the rainforest, allowing the flora and fauna to continue to flourish. The origin of this wall is widely forgotten these days, but the beliefs that the people carried are also gradually being overcome. More desert dwellers have come to study at the academia, and there are also programs being set up for scholars to come and teach people in the desert. Speaking of the desert people, our next stop is the beautiful Aaru Village. This village is the largest human settlement in the desert, and it is located quite close to the Wall of Samiel. Tucked away in the Rocky Mountains of this area, it is much safer than the rest of the desert, which is a harsh and unforgiving environment. Before Lesser Lord Kusanali was freed, the sages of the academia would send mad scholars to this village in exile. These scholars had come into contact with forbidden knowledge within Irminsul, which was something that they could not comprehend. Of course, the corrupt sages were eventually removed from their positions, and forbidden knowledge no longer plagues the world. Now, Aaru Village also has someone who is known as the Guardian of Aaru Village. In modern times, this person is Candace. Due to her position, she rarely leaves the village, as she does her best to protect her people at all times. She also tells us more about the history and origins of Aaru Village. Before the death of King Deshret, the place where Aaru Village now stands was the site of a city called Akhtamun. Not much is known about this city, but we are told that after the fall of King Deshret's civilization, many of his people would flock there. After some time, the city would eventually become known as Aaru Village. Down the road from Aaru Village, you can at first find a completely ordinary path called Abdju Road. However, after starting the Golden Slumber questline, you will find that a massive hole has replaced this path. This enormous sinkhole is Abdju Pit, which stretches down quite far into the desert sands. There is also a one-time domain located here, which is known as the Red Desert Threshold. Now, during the Golden Slumber questline, the traveler heads down into this pit. Here, they meet a few interesting characters including Tirzad, Jebriel, and Jet. Together with this group, they travel deeper into the pit to try and find a way out. The group first finds some ruins of King Deshret's civilization, which may have been part of Akhtamun, the city that stood where Aaru Village is now. Continuing on through the ruins, the group eventually finds a strange machine that Jet names Ben, which helps them throughout their journey. The group would eventually find a way out of the underground ruins, and would soon after head to the next spot to explore. This next spot would be Khemenu Temple, which is located just to the east of King Deshret's Mausoleum. The temple is mostly underground as well, and has many different rooms and hallways. In one of these rooms, you can find the mysterious Soul Ferry. This structure resembles a boat, but with it being located inside, it is unlikely that it was ever used. During the Golden Slumber questline, Tearzad agrees with this idea, claiming that the Soul Ferry was likely not built for the living. Additionally, the Soul Ferry is later described as resembling a ferry meant to carry off the dead. With that in mind, it is most likely that this Soul Ferry was more symbolic rather than literal. Alternatively though, the boat may have been used to bring people's souls to the afterlife by King Deshret or a ferryman. Combining this with the Duat Hall found later on, this could suggest that King Deshret had some sort of dominion over death, and could be related to a potential shade of death. In ancient Egyptian mythology, the Duat is also the realm of the dead. King Deshret holding dominion over death would also tie in with his goal of creating the Golden Slumber, but this is all a topic for a future theory video. Anyways, the next wonder for today is the Mausoleum of King Deshret. This is a massive structure that was built by King Deshret with the help of the Jinn, and it can be seen from extremely far away. In exchange for the Jinn helping build the mausoleum, King Deshret helped build the city of Ai-Khanum for them. Now, in recent times, there was a great cyclone located atop the mausoleum. As you got closer to the structure, the sky would turn many shades of orange, as sandstorms would block out the sun. During the Dual Evidence World Quest, the traveler would make their way up to the top of the mausoleum to investigate this strange phenomenon. The top area is better known as Aaru Shut, which interestingly shares a name with Aaru Village. Anyways, the traveler is eventually able to defeat a primal construct atop the mausoleum and turn off the cyclone. After this, the cyclone does not return, and the layout of Aaru Shut changes drastically. Anyways, back during the Golden Slumber questline, we travel into the mausoleum itself. Here, the group's main focus is on the sarcophagus that lies in the center of the structure. The group eventually gets it open, but it is shown that there's nothing inside, much to Tearzad's disbelief. However, there is something interesting here. On the sides of the sarcophagus, there is some text written in Deshret script. The first 4 letters on the left are what I want to focus on here, as they spell out Amun with an O. Amun with a U is King Deshret's Arsgoatian or demon name. Moving on though, the next spot on this list is actually 3 spots. There are 3 smaller pyramids scattered around the desert, which are known as the 3 Dunes. In the southwest, you will find the Dune of Magma. There are a few puzzles here, as well as a hole that leads into the huge underground area of the desert. In the north, you will find the Dune of Kerases. This pyramid houses a few puzzles just like the Dune of Magma, but it also has a treasure room located at the very top. Additionally, in the Desert's Remembrance World Quest, Sohail describes this dune as a miniature version of King Deshret's mausoleum. Finally, in the southeast, you will find the Dune of Illusion. Here, you will find the algorithm of semi-intransient matrix of Overseer network, which is a world boss. This device is also called the Tomb Guard of the Desert King, and it is said that it still carries the will of its lonely ruler, King Deshret. Speaking of King Deshret, the final wonder for today is where his throne room is located. This is Khaj-Nisut, a structure that is only revealed through the Golden Slumber questline. Before this, the structure is invisible and unable to be reached, with the area also being called the Eye of the Sands. We travel here towards the end of the Golden Slumber questline, where we solve the puzzles to get up to the throne room. Here, another eremite that Jebriel knows named Samiel reveals himself after following the group in secret. He threatens the group, but Jebriel is able to trick him. He lets Samiel sit on King Deshret's throne, and recite a certain prayer that goes like this. O stars high above the wasteland, O nightingales weary from the day, it's time to take off the crown of roses. Cleanse yourself with wine made from grapes. When Samiel recites the prayer, it kills him, allowing him to enter the golden slumber. However, Samiel takes over the golden slumber's consciousness and attempts to kill everyone in Khaj-Nisut. Jebriel decides to sacrifice himself by entering as well, stopping Samiel and allowing everyone to escape. As for the golden slumber itself, it is rather mysterious. It's a sort of hive mind created by Deshret that he worked on for many, many years, and could have been where he went after his death. And those are 7 of the wonders in the Great Red Sand. I've already made a video on the wonders of the rainforest of Sumeru, and there will be future videos on Hadramaveth and the Girdle of the Sands as well. I also recommend you check out my videos on the Flower of Paradise Lost, Nymph Stream, and Vorokash's Glow artifacts for more information about the lore of the desert and Sumeru as a whole. If you enjoyed this video though, consider subscribing. It helps me out a lot and it means so much to me. I'd love to hear what wonders throughout other areas and nations you'd like to hear me go over in this series in the comments below as well. Anyways, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Sources and further readings are also in the description if you want to check them out. I hope you all have an amazing day, and I'll see you all in the next video.